back to the Scarlet Faithful podcast here on Thursday, April 18th. Plenty to get caught up on in the world of Rutgers sports. One note from Wednesday, running back Antoine Raymond committed to Rutgers football, reclassifying from the class of 25 to the class of 24. So he'll be on campus and part of the team heading into training camp for the 2024 season, adds depth to an already strong group. Had a very successful season this past year at Clearwater Academy in Florida. Rushed for 1,884 yards on 223 carries. That's 8.45 yards per carry. 22 touchdowns in 10 games, 5'10", and 190. Similar profile to Kyle Manungai. And he was recruited he had about 30 offers, over a dozen Power 5. Some of the schools that were really on him were Auburn, Miami, Mississippi State, Iowa, West Virginia, Syracuse, South Carolina. Legit offer list, just a 3-star composite, 4-star per Rivals, but certainly a quality addition. I'm going to have David Anderson on Friday to kind of delve in more to his ceiling and his, his take on his as a prospect, as well as we'll look at the 2025 class. Also, wanted to touch on women's basketball. A bad news yesterday in terms of Kayleen Schmeichel. Knew that she was in the transfer portal. Former second team, first all rookie, and then second team all Big Ten selection 2 years ago. Only played 15 games this past year, but led Rutgers again, 16 points. A high volume scorer. Has now transferred to Maryland. So going to a conference rival. That's no doubt a setback for Rutgers women's basketball. Head coach Coquise Washington losing Schmeichel in the transfer portal. But then today, Thursday, announcing the signing, which, Kiyomi McMiller, 5-star guard, previously committed, knew that she was, set to join, but it was officially announced today, signing with Rutgers basketball, over a 2,000-point scorer in her career. Number 22 ranked prospect by ESPNW, 5'9" shooting guard. Last 2 seasons played at Burlington, New Jersey for Life Center Academy. Averaged 30 points, almost 6 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals as a senior. This is Coquise Washington in the press release, and I quote, "Kiyomi McMiller is one of the most exciting players I've ever seen play the game of basketball. She is a walking highlight, and our fans are going to love watching her breathtaking performances in Jersey Mike's arena. She's a fast-paced guard, which fits well with how we like to play. Moreover, she's highly competitive, ready to elevate Rutgers women's basketball to new heights. It's going to be a lot of fun coaching Kiyomi." She was McDonald's All-American nominee. She played in the Jordan Brand Classic, or she will be playing next week at the Barclays Center. That's going to be on NBA's YouTube channel, so you can check her out there. But huge addition for the program and for a big recruiting win for Coquise Washington. I'll have more to come on women's basketball this offseason. Now wanted to hop back to men's basketball. 2 pieces of news that came out in the last day. First off, Tyson Acuff officially signed. He was on a visit this week. Rutgers announced him officially, which was great news for the program to get that deal done, just in terms of what he brings to the program. And, he talked about his wanting to be a mentor to younger players and, talking about this just in terms of the way that Steve Pikiell is building the roster, obviously with the commitment of Jordan Durkak earlier in the week, along with Jeremiah Williams, who I had as a guest on the Scarlet Faithful podcast this week. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And then obviously Dylan Harper. You now have 4 guards that are big in size, that are athletic, that can all lead the break in transition. And I really think Rutgers is going to be, talked about it all last offseason, going to be an up-tempo, fast-paced team. That did not work out. But you didn't have the athletes. You didn't have the talent. And now they have 4 guards that, are going to be able to create offense for themselves. And I think just being able to handle the ball in different situations, but most importantly, to be able to lead the break and have 4 different guys that could do it, it's going to make you that much harder to defend. And Tyson Acuff, knows how to score. Talked about shot selection. It's going to have to be different at Rutgers, but really quality addition for the program to get, number 8 scorer in the country. Whether he comes off the bench, whether he starts, he's going to play a big role next year. And he certainly brings toughness, and is a guy that was in a situation where he was the top dog. He was doubled. He had commanded all the attention, and now he's coming to a program where he's just going to have to play a role. He's very efficient scoring at the rim, very efficient at the free throw line, very high assist rate, low turnover rate. He just on paper is just a guy that is going to give Rutgers a lot of experience, some leadership, and if he can embrace whatever role he ultimately has. He's a proven scorer for Rutgers, and I think it's a great addition, along with Zach Martini, now official. Jordan Durkak verbally committing this week, should be official pretty soon. And then that leads us to Jadon Jones, the 6'5" wing from Long Beach State, visiting Rutgers, posted on his Instagram stories on Wednesday that he was in Piscataway at the rack, and that is a big development for the program. I talked about in my podcast in reaction to Durkak committing to Rutgers that I really thought Rutgers still needed a 3-and-D guy, and that's what Jadon Jones is to a T. 6'5" wing, former Big West Defensive Player of the Year, the most efficient player in the Big West this past year. Analytically, he checks a lot of boxes. Really high block rate for a 6'5" wing, and that is not just, he's been top 350 nationally in steal rate and block rate the last 3 seasons, and that's for all positions, not just, forwards and centers. He is a career 36.9% three-point shooter on 590 attempts. He has a very low turnover rate. He's a really good rebounding guard. He's just a very versatile, efficient player that can knock down threes, can defend multiple positions, and would be a tremendous addition if Rutgers can get him. Just scouring the internet, social media, Discord, or whatnot, it does sound like Jadon Jones has some interest from Butler as well as Oklahoma. There was another one I'm forgetting as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here as he finishes up his visit at Rutgers. But it just falls right into what I thought the staff was thinking, which is I think you're going to see a lot of 3-guard lineups. I think that's the plan. You could, Ace is, a 3. You can play him as 4. They're going to want to stretch the floor. They're going to space the floor, right? So having, and Jadon Jones is a true wing in the sense of how he can defend multiple positions, and he's not, going to be a main ball handler. He can handle the ball, but he really is a 3-and-D wing. And, but with him on the floor, it's going to be like having a third guard to some extent. And I think they're going to play a lot of guards, and that's why they're stocking up on him. And I've seen some panic online. They need a center. Of course they need a center. They know they need a center. But why not fill out your roster, know exactly what you have left in your NIL bag, war chest, whatever it may be, right? And then you have a full roster to present to whatever center possibilities you're pursuing. And you go out and, you make your best case. And I think Jadon Jones just checks boxes too with, really good free throw shooter, shoots, over 60% at the rim, low turnover rate. Again, just a veteran, versatile player that started for Long Beach State, a team that made the NCAA tournament. He had 10 points against Arizona in the tourney. So really intriguing option there. I hope that they can get him. We'll see. Time will tell. And then, yes, you got to get a true center. I think, a rim defender, if they can get an offensive 5, that would be amazing. There's some hope that maybe Andrew Carr, the transfer from Wake Forest, is a possibility. That would be an amazing add as well. So this roster is, certainly an intriguing point. You need to fill out these 2 spots the best way possible. But, a lot of hope here that Rutgers is going to finish out this transfer portal season in a really positive way. I think that, there's no doubt that the specific style they're looking to play is going to be a fun style, and whatever expectations you might have for this team, and it's way too early to get into that, but I think it's going to be a really fun, exciting, athletic, up-tempo, deep veteran team with some really exciting young talent. How they all mesh that together, said it time and again, Steve Peichel has his work cut out for him, but filling the roster is that first mandatory hurdle that he's got to succeed on. So more to come on that, but a lot of intriguing developments this week with Rutgers men's basketball, women's basketball. Need to continue to build that program. Football, recruiting wise, going to get more into that on Friday with David Anderson. Stay tuned for that. Check out my interview with Jeremiah Williams if you missed that earlier this week. And like, subscribe, whatever you can do to support the Scarlet Faithful podcast. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening once again. I will talk to you tomorrow.